At 10 laps down in this 30-lap main event. Great race for second right now. Do not want to take your eyes off this one. Cabrace going to split back through the middle. Now LB on the bottom of the racetrack may have thrown a right rear tire. They're 3 wide still for second.
What a race for the runner-up spot. Now Leon Hardy up the racetrack again. Capre right back down to the inside. And here comes LB again to make it 3 wide for second once again. Here comes LB. A double slider is thrown to the 24 of Leon Hardy's. The 12 is into the wall.
And the 12 of Cabre catches the wall right there. Now Leonardi across back over for position number 2. And here comes Elby going to dive it back down to the bottom of the racetrack. And he'll try to slide Zach Leonardi for second. What a battle we're seeing, Chase.
There's no better racing than USAC Sprint Car Racing here at Limeland Motorsports Park. Big slide job again for the second spot for the 24, Leon Hardy. The 74 right back down to the inside. Meanwhile, your race leader, David Heilman's out to a 1.5 second advantage.
A 1.5 second lead for David Heilman. Also want to give a shout out to Brendan Rogers, started 17th. He's worked his way up to 7th. And if these guys keep the racing up that we're seeing right now for position number 2, we'll see Brendan Rogers up there very, very quickly.
Fantastic information there, Tommy. Great job looking at the back of the field. The 20 car of Brendan Rogers on the move. Contact in the front of the field, and we've got a caution. The 24 of Leon Hardy is involved. That is your championship points leader.
Yeah, that'll shake things up very quickly here at Limeland. How things change in just the blink of an eye. David Heilman's 1.5 second lead, though, will disappear with Adam Elby, Cole Cabre now in position 2nd and 3rd. Justin Thomas, Alex Smollers now at the top 5.
Man, a big incident there for the 24 of Leon Hardy. He tried to drive it in deep to throw a slide job on the 74 of Elby. He got over a tractor tire there, Tommy, and it picked up the left side tires, and after that he was along for the ride and got collected by a couple other guys, but just kind of drove it a little bit too, turned in a little bit too early into the corner right there and got one of those tires.
Yeah, that's the thing we've seen between the first and second races. Now it happens in the third. The tractor tires come back to bite a driver in the A main event. It just happens to be your points leader, Zach Leonardi, this week. He'll restart. I do believe he is in the pits now, 1 lap down, and that'll end his night pretty much here in the main event. 19th is where he's being scored at the moment.
Brendan Rogers putting on an absolute clinic right now, Tommy. From 17th up to 6th, the pace car is off. We're going to go for these final 12 laps here at Limeland Motorsports Park. David Heilman's back on the gas. He'll lead him back into turn number 1.
And David Heilman's going to try to pull away once again. He had a 1.5 second lead before the caution came out. Adam Elby up to position number 2. We'll see if he'll go back down to the bottom. Looks like he's pretty content on the outside of the racetrack right now. And here comes Justin Thomas back now in the picture as he's going to try to pull alongside Cole Cabre. And here comes Brendan Rogers making 3 wide contact now.
Yep, Rogers gets into the side of Justin Thomas, and he will fall to the rear of the field. The caution comes out with 10 laps to go. And as soon as I saw the 20 dive it down to the inside and throw a slide job on Alex Smolders, I saw that 23 car, Justin Thomas, in the middle of the racetrack, and I saw that contact come in there. A tough break there for the 20 car, Brendan Rogers, who is having an absolutely incredible drive there.
Brendan Rogers was putting on a show coming through from 17th up to the top 5. Just a little too hard right there, the big slide jump. Maybe threw it a little too early, and he'll have to restart, I do believe, in the 13th position. We'll see if he can make a drive back up through the field, but he's going to have a very little amount of time to do that in, as David Heilman still showing the way here under yellow, where I do believe we're going to go green with about 5 or 6 laps to go.
Yep, David Heilman is your race leader. Cole Cabre is in the 2nd spot, followed by Justin Thomas, who is now in 3rd, looking for his first career iRacing.com World Championship Series podium here tonight. He ran with us in the wing sprint cars with the World of Outlaws. Never got a podium, but here tonight, looking for his first ever podium finish, and he's in the 3rd spot right now. So a good run for the 23 car. The lights are out. The final 6 laps of tonight's feature from Limeland Motorsports Park about to go green. David Heilman's back on the throttle. We're back to green, Tommy.
Yeah, David Heilman's back on the gas, going to try to pull away in a hurry. Here is your race leader, and here comes the 23 of Justin Thomas, going to try to throw it in there, make it 3 wide. Now here comes the 211 of Alex Smollers. May have caught a tire there into turn number 1 and 2.
Yep, Smollers down to the bottom of the racetrack just behind him. Vinny Sansone moves into the 5th spot as the 22 car and Trey Schmidt got into the wall in the restart, so Sansone's now up to 5th. Heilman leads right now, but just by over a slim margin, just about 3 car lengths over the 12 car of Cole Cabre.
Yeah, Alex Smolders in the 211 threw a little slide job right there into Justin Thomas. Smolders up to 3rd, working the bottom of the racetrack. Thomas going to try to power away on the outside once again. Vinny Sansone moves into the top 5. Austin Simmelman right there together as well. But back up front, David Heilman slowly pulling away as we're coming around. I do believe that's 5 laps to go here this time.
Yep, exactly 1/10 separated your top two drivers in lap times right there. That last time by Heilemann with a 14.297 and Cabré with a 14.397. So Heilemann's pulling away just a little bit. This time by only 3 laps to go for the 49 car up front.
Yeah, the battle is on, though, for position number 2 and 3 as the 12 of Cole Cabré hanging on to it. Alex Smolders, Justin Thomas going to try to pull along right beside him, just can't quite get the run. As Smolders, I do believe, in the 211 on the bottom, 3 wide now for third.
Yeah, good battle for that final spot on the podium here tonight. The 18 car of Austin Selman from 14th is trying to find himself up on the podium, side by side for third as they come to the white flag. This time by Smolders down low. Thomas up top in the 18 of Selman and the 80 of Sandstone through the middle of the racetrack. But off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway, the 49 of David Heilemann, the Heilemaniac, into 3 and 4. He'll run the bottom of the racetrack and he'll win 2 in a row here with the USAC World Championship Series presented by FlowRacing.com. Heilemann wins in Lima Land, second to Cole Cabré, and in third, a heated battle will go to the 211 of Alex Smolders. Fourth, looks like it's going to go to Vinny Sansone, and in fifth, the 23 car of Justin Thomas.
This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Coming off a big weekend for USAC, which saw Tyler Courtney win the midget and sprint car race and Brady Bacon winning the Silver Crown running of the 4 Crown Nationals this weekend at the Eldora Motor Speedway, we come to the virtual version for the 4th round of the USAC World Championship Series presented by Flow Racing here on iRacing. And Chase Rodman, I'm going to start with you. David Heilemann is starting to dominate this championship. He has not finished worse than 3rd place across 3 races, and he has won 2 of those. And coming into this 4th round, he sees himself with a 26-point lead over Cole Cabré. The Heilemaniac is putting on a show.
Yeah, David has been really good these last couple weeks there, Randy. And, I talked to a couple drivers after the race last weekend, and, we're heading into a stretch here. The next 3 out of the 4 races are all at big half-mile racetracks, and a couple of these guys were talking to me saying that this is where the season could change for, a guy like David Heilemann, who's been so good on these quarter-mile bull rings that get to these half-mile racetracks, and these cars handle completely differently, and a lot more can happen going a lot faster. You can make mistakes a lot easier. So we'll see if Heilemann can keep up the pressure on the rest of this field and have a good run here tonight at Eldora.
You guys might be hearing some V8 engines starting to fire up. That's because the track just opened up for hot lap testing. Drivers will have a couple minutes to get some practice in before we go out there for time trials in the qualifying situation. But Tommy, first time we come to one of these big half-mile racetracks. We've had 3 very similar high-banked quarter-mile racetracks, all different and all, of course, had their unique characteristics, but at the end of the day, they were all very similar. We come now here October the 2nd to Eldora, first of these big half-mile racetracks, and arguably the most high-banked and quickest of the tracks we'll go to all year. This is going to provide a very unique challenge to all the drivers out there, just in terms of it's a complete different approach to what they've been doing thus far this year.
Very different style of driving than what we've seen the first 3 weeks of racing. You leave the bull rings behind. The first 3 weeks, you went to Fairbury, Kokomo, and Lima Land, all short little bull ring tracks. We're here at Eldora. Should be very fast, high pace. Should see a lot of action. Seen some great racing in the first 3 races. Expecting more of the same here at the high banks of Eldora Speedway.
And we coming into this, of course, with David Heilemann having won 2 races in a row. And this is something actually his teammate told me, Chase. Joel Berkeley noted.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Apologies to everyone. A little bit of technical difficulties on our end. We're getting everything back. Right now you have just me and Hugo at the moment. We'll get Tommy and Chase in here in just a moment as we get ready to go qualifying in this USAC World Championship Series brought to you by Flow Racing as the track just gets opened up for time trials. We wait to see who's going to be the first to step themselves up there to get themselves out there on the racetrack. Drivers out there on the moment right now. The 131 car of Bobby Samp Jr. now representing Jim Beaver Esports. Jim Beaver has come in as a partner in that team and is completely bought it out there. Jim Beaver, of course, very, very much a part of the eNASCAR P. Candy Freeze iRacing series. Now going to be working with these guys in, of course, these Dirt Oval Championships, and of course the championship we're going to have this weekend, the iRacing Rallycross World Championship, which will be kicking off this week at Atlanta. So qualifying at the moment right now, Skylar Brown has the pole position, quick time of a 15.192 as we monitor cars that are getting out there on the racetrack for their qualifying efforts. Right now the 16 of Trevor Fisher out there on the racetrack. He's already logged his times. He's down there in the high 15-second bracket. A lot of drivers still waiting to get themselves put in and get themselves out there. 24, Zach Leonardi, your 2018 World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion, rolls off. We've seen that 24 car be very, very quick thus far this season. Zach's going to come off turns 3 and 4. He'll see the first lap of his 2. He'll trick the clock right here, and the clock will start ticking on him through 1 and 2. Gets into the wall on the high side. He's going to be aborting out of this lap, so the 24 won't be doing it. Driver the 39, though, Chase Cabray. He goes 5th quickest. Championship points leader, the 49 of David Heileman. He'll start his first lap right here through corners number 1 and 2. You see him run in the middle. We saw the 24 at Leonardi. He tried the top side. Didn't work for him. He found the wall. David's going to try the top this time through 3 and 4. He's able to run it. First lap for the Heilemaniac after lap number 1, 15.396. Puts him in the mid-pack. He moves the lane up the racetrack through corners number 1 and 2. Can he put in quick time as he was 9th quickest that first time? Slider line through 3 and 4 this trip around and coming off of turn 4. This is going to be Heilemaniac's second lap. He will not improve. Actually, no, I take that back. He will improve going on a 2.25, but it's still Skylar Brown who holds the pole position with a 15.192. No one has been able to get under the 2s just yet. The 18 of Austin Simelman, he's out there on a lap right now. He's going to come through this next set of corners and work down the front straightaway. He's going to go to a 15.263 chase. The 18 looks good in qualifying at the moment.
Yeah, Austin's been good all season long and turns in a solid lap right there. But Skylar Brown, man, how about that? We haven't really talked about him all season long, and sure enough, at the top of the speed charts right now in Eldora Speedway qualifying, Vinny Sansone also turned a good lap right now. He's 3rd. James Eden's out, and they'll be round out the top 5. But a couple of familiar faces up there and a couple guys we haven't really talked about all season long up at the top of the speed charts right now.
Couple big names still have to take their efforts out there. The 14 of Alex Bergeron on the racetrack has not yet started his first lap. He comes across the timing marker now, and he's going to go. The 24 Zach Leonardi, we saw him find the outside wall. Alex gets tied up there around the top. First lap, Tommy, is not going to be a good one. As a matter of fact, he's basically, I think, going to hit the eject button. He's only going to have one more opportunity. The 9 of Joel Berkeley, though, he's out there on the racetrack running his second lap. This will be his only one. The first one did not count for him. He's off in 2 and down the back straightaway. Joel Berkeley, his one time that'll count tonight.
Yeah, a couple of drivers you see they're very uncharacteristically tapping the wall here at Eldora, but that's the problem running the high banks here at Eldora. And with these high-powered race cars, Alex Bergeron coming around the racetrack, and he'll try to get one more lap in. We'll see what this time will turn in. Only about 3 qualifiers left to make an attempt, including Zach Leonardi, one of 3 drivers with multiple top 5s on the season thus far.
Off of turn 4 for Bergeron. Let's see what's he going to do. He's been quick in qualifying all year long. He will not be tonight. That's going to put him 23rd quickest. Couple other drivers we have to see go. Lewis Hewitt and Zach Leonardi. The last 2 we have to see qualify. Lewis, he's on his second opportunity. First one was no good for him. This time he comes across the timing beam, and that's not going to work out for him either, and the clock is going to count down to 0. Racing is about to start. Chase and Tommy, the call is yours.
Thank you very much, Randy. As we get ready for heat race number 1 on the night, the top 4 drivers will transfer directly into the feature event out of these heat races. On the pole, your fast time qualifier tonight is the number 10 car, Skylar Brown, with a 15.192 outside him. A good qualifying effort for the 74 car of Adam Elby. Row 2 inside, it's the 211 of Alex Smolders. And on the outside of Smolders will be the 39 car of Chase Cabray. Third row inside, the 901 Joe Quinn. On the outside of him, starting 6th, is the 00 Jeff Nevins. And your 4th row will be the 57 car Ryan Diotti. And right now, currently 4th in the point standings. Had a great year so far. Zach Leonardi does not get a qualifying lap in, and he will start 8th in this first heat race, Tommy. I'm not sure what's going on with that 24 car, but not getting a qualifying lap in, not the way you want to start your night.
Yeah, definitely not the way he wanted to start his night, but you definitely know he's got a very fast race car, very good in these wingless sprint cars. Look for the 24 of Leonardi to challenge and work his way through the front, to the front here in heat race number 1. Great job by Skylar Brown starting on the pole here tonight. Missed the race last week, but starting on the pole here tonight, great rebound for him.
Yeah, Skylar Brown and Adam Elby, those 2 guys at the front of the field, they put on a heck of a show. I think at the last race at Kokomo for the final transfer spot in the B-main event, those guys were going at it. Now they start up on the front row here this first heat race. But, man, I'm not really sure what happened to Leonardi there, Tommy. He did not qualify. I wasn't expecting him to make the grid here for this heat race, but sure enough, he makes it out there. And like I mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, the top 4 spots in these heat races directly to the feature event. And the rest of them, I believe we're going to have 2 B-mains tonight. And out of those 2 B-mains, we'll have the top 2 transferring on. So if you're not in the top 4 in these heat races, we'll see you later on in an LCQ. Looking for the green flag this time by off turn number 4. 8 laps will be the distance here for these 4 heat races. And it should be an exciting one. The heat races have been very good all season long with the iRacing USAC World Championship Series here presented by FlowRacing.com. Pace truck pulls off. Skylar Brown, Adam Elby off turn number 4. Green flag is out, Tommy.
Yeah, Skylar Brown, he's going to lead him down into turn number 1 as your race leader. Here comes the 211, Alex Smolders. He'll pull up to position number 2, followed by Joe Quinn at the 901. And they're 3 wide for the 4th and final transfer spot. Contact back there.
Yeah, contact between the 39 car Chase Cabray and the 57 of Ryan Diotti. That's going to give some good luck there to the 74 car of Adam Elby, who started on the outside of the front row, is about to fall back to the 5th spot, but is now challenging for 3rd to the inside of Joe Quinn. Can't make the pass there. Quinn back around on the outside. Good side-by-side battle for 3rd.
Yeah, good race right there. Quinn on the outside of the racetrack. Going to try to power his way to position number 3 as Elby working the bottom of the racetrack. Going to slide up in front of Quinn. Great race right there for 3rd. Quinn will fall back to position number 4, the 4th and final transfer spot, working lap number 3.
Keeping an eye on our championship contenders here. The 24 car of Zach Leonardi's back at about the 6th spot right now, trying to challenge the 00 of Jeff Nevins for the 5th spot. Nevins almost gets the wall in turn 1. Up on the top side of the racetrack, like we saw this past weekend at the 4 Crown Nationals. These guys will be bouncing the right rear tires off the concrete. Here's the slider from the 24 Leonardi, but Nevins back around on the outside.
Yeah, it's Nevins holding on to position number 5. Meanwhile, back up front, Alex Smolders. He's going to dip down on the inside of Skylar Brown, looking for the race lead. Skylar Brown, he'll get the run down the back straightaway. Hang on to it for the moment, but Alex Smolders right there challenging, knocking on the door halfway home.
There's a slide job for the 5th spot. Give it to the 24 car, Leonardi. Now Nevins going to turn it right back down to the inside. Turn number 1. Nevins going to get it clear. 24 car's going to tap the brake and try and turn it back underneath him down the back straightaway. Zach Leonardi back to 5th, but he's running out of time here. Just 2 laps to go at the stripe.
Yeah, 2 more times around the racetrack. Good 3-wide action for second, third, and fourth right now. Alex Mulder's hanging on to it. Adam Elby wants it. He'll try to dip it to the outside of the racetrack, working down the back straightaway 1.5 more times here in heat race number 1.
Yeah, coming around for the white flag this time by the 10-car. Skylar Brown's been picture perfect this entire time. Here comes Elby threading the needle on the outside. He'll take the second spot away from Alex Smulders. Elby right through the middle part of that of Smulders and the outside concrete wall right there. That was a close call, but he makes it work, and he's going to cruise down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Nobody's got anything for Skylar Brown, though. He'll go quick time in qualifying. He'll win the first heat race. He'll be on the pole of tonight's 30-lap main event here from Eldora Speedway. Second spot was Adam Elby. Alex Smulders third, and in fourth, your final transfer here in heat race number 1 is the 901 of Joe Quinn. Behind them, 5th place car will be the the 24 car Zach Leonhardi. Then it's the 6th spot, the 00 of Jeff Nevins. Then it's Chase Cabray and Ryan Diotti, the finishers there in that first heat race. And now we're gridding up heat race number 2 already. On the pole this one, current series point leader and 2-time winner this season, the 49 car of David Heileman will show the way in this one. Outside him, the 18 car Austin Selleman. Row 2 inside, 3rd place in the points, the 9 car of Joel Berkeley. And on the outside of him, the opening round winner with this series, the 20 car of Brennan Rogers. Row 3 inside, the 121 of Josh Fox. And on the outside, the number 5 car of Rusty Kruger. 4th and final row, the 83 car of Hunter Connolly. And starting out back, the number 3 car, Lewis Hewitt. So this is 2 races in a row here, Tommy. We've had some pretty decent drivers starting back in that 8th spot. Lewis Hewitt has shown some speed all season long, but does not get a qualifying lap in here tonight. And he'll have to he's got a little bit of work ahead of him here.
Yeah, you're only 2 feature winners here so far this season for the iRacing USAC World Championship. Starting here in heat race number 2, David Heileman's won the last 2 feature events, and Brendan Rogers hitting the outside of road number 2, won the very first one opening night at the Fairbury Raceway. And we're doubling back up, get set to go back green. Heat race number 2 next time by, I do believe.
Yep, next time by, we look at the green flag here for this second heat race. David Heileman looking to transfer on easily here to this feature event. Start on the outside of the front row if he's able to do that here, if he wins this heat race. So that's kind of the basic format there. You win the first heat, you're on the pole. Second heat, you win that, you're on the outside of the front row, and so on and so forth back through the field. As they go down the back straightaway one more time here, Heileman, and to the outside of him is Austin Selman. So, you know, those first 2 rows right there, Tommy, pretty solid competitors, I would say.
Absolutely. Austin Selman, the outside of road number 1, always a tough competitor and a threat to win anywhere he is, but we're getting set to go green. Pace truck is in, and David Heileman, he'll lead him down the front straight away into turn number 1.
He's going to bring the 9 car. That's his teammate, Joel Berkeley, across the racetrack. He'll take over second from Austin Selman. Selman keeps up on the top side of the racetrack, trying to get a run on down the back straightaway. Almost pulls up next to him. Now here comes a move from the 9 car. Berkeley to the inside of Heileman for the race lead.
Joel Berkeley challenging for the race lead down the front straightaway, side-by-side drag race into turn number 1. Can't quite get him clear, and here comes the 20 of Brendan Rogers challenging Simmelman now for position number 3. They're side-by-side for third as Heileman clears Joel Berkeley into turn number 3 and 4.
Yeah, Rusty Kruger makes the move on the 121 of Josh Fox to take over the 5th spot. Now Fox right back down to the inside on the front straightaway. Yeah, the battle's heating up for the 3rd spot. Here comes Rogers up the racetrack, nearly gets into him. It looks like the 18 of Selman got into the wall right there, and he's going to lose 2 spots.
Yeah, Austin Selman, he'll fall back to the 6th place position. That'll allow Josh Fox in that 121 machine to move up to the 4th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 2. As David Heileman, he's walking away with it here in heat race number 2. About a half a second lead now over Joe Berkeley. Joe Berkeley in car number 9.
Pretty close call there for the 3rd spot as Brendan Rogers got off the cushion right there in turn 2, came down the racetrack. The 121 of Josh Fox got into the left rear tire, was able to hang on to it, but now he's under pressure from the 18 of Selman and the 5K of Rusty Kruger. Coming around this time by for 3 laps to go, and Fox is nowhere near safe in this one yet.
Yeah, 3 more times around the racetrack. Josh Fox trying to find a way around the 20 of Brendan Rogers. Meanwhile, Austin Simmelman, Rusty Kruger, Hunter Connolly all right there knocking on the door for the 4th and final transfer spot. Josh Fox trying to hang on to him, but Simmelman now on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll slide back up to the 4th and final transfer.
Yep, Selman up across the racetrack, takes that spot away. Josh Fox right back down to the inside. We'll see what he does down here in turns 1 and 2. He'll return the favor in the 1 and 2. Now Selman's going to try and turn it back to the inside, but Fox, he'll block him right there. They make contact down the back straightaway, and that might almost lock it up for the 121 there, but here comes the 5K of Kruger on the outside. What a move by the 5K of Rusty Kruger.
Kruger gets a great run coming around. White flag is out. Kruger going to slide up in front of Josh Fox for the 4th and final transfer spot. Fox crosses him back over, coming to the line this time. David Heileman, he'll take the win easily, followed by Joel Berkeley, Brendan Rogers, and coming to the line, it'll be Josh Fox, I do believe, taking on the 4th and final transfer spot.
Wow, by they get 1/100th of a second. Josh Fox will get the final transfer spot from the 5K at Rusty Kruger. Man, I'll tell you right now, Kruger came off the 4th corner, Tommy, and he did not lift. He was not going to lift for anything right there.
He let it all hang out. Just unfortunately, just a little bit too short right there. Coming to the line, he'll have a great starting spot in one of those last chance qualifiers coming up here in just a little bit, though.
Yep, David Heilman with the win there in Heat Race 2, and then it's going to be Joel Berkeley second, Brendan Rogers third, and like we mentioned, Josh Fox fourth. Headed to the B mains, Rusty Kruger, Austin Selleman, Hunter Connolly, and Lewis Hewitt, who ended up 3 laps down there in that second heat race. Heat race number 3 is on the racetrack, and we are going to give you their starting lineup right now on the pole. This one, it's the number 80 car of Vinny Sansone. Outside him, the 98 of James Tiernan. Row 2 inside, the 057 of Anthony Lopresto, and on the outside of him, the 131 of Bobby Sant Jr. Row 3 inside, the 12 car, second in the point standings coming in tonight. That's Cole Cabre, and on the outside of him, it's the number 14 of Alex Bergeron. And your final starter, the number 8 car of Matthew Howard, will start shotgun on this one. And a couple of fast guys coming from row number 3 here. This might be the most stacked heat race we've had so far here tonight, Tommy. Cole Cabre's got to get up on the wheel here. He's not starting inside of a transfer spot here. He's got to get by a couple cars.
Yeah, we know Cole Cabre's fast in these wingless sprint cars, but he's got his work cut out for him. So does the 14 of Alex Bergeron. Bergeron's had a very fast race car, not had the results he's wanted in the first 3 races. Looking to rebound here tonight at Eldora, but he's got a long way to go here in heat race number 3 if he wants to get the job done.
Yeah, Alex Bergeron, really, he's been fast. I mean, he was fast the first race at Fairbury before getting an infield tire while leading the race. And then last week, I believe he got caught up in an accident in the B main that sidelined him from the action. So he's hoping to rebound here tonight. I think the pace truck's pulling off this time. This time by, it's going to be Vinny Sansone and James Tiernan leading with the green flag, and a good start from Sansone on the front row.
Yeah, Vinny Sansone, he's going to take off and lead him down into turn number 1 and 2. They're side by side for position number 2 as James Tiernan, he'll pull up to the second place spot, and they're 3 wide for position number 3 now.
Yeah, here comes the 131 of Bobby Sant Jr. on the outside from the bottom of the racetrack. Who is that? What a move. That's going to be, and there's a big wreck behind him. Bobby Sant Jr. gets into Cole Cabre as well, but Cabre is able to continue on. And now your top 4 drivers have pulled away from the 5th place car, Cabre.
Alex Bergeron in that 14 machine. He's moved up to the 3rd place spot on the inside as Anthony Lopresto, he'll fall back to position number 4. Bergeron on the charge here in heat race number 3 as we're 3 laps down, coming up to 3 laps down next time by.
I'm going to keep my eye on the 12 car of Cole Cabre here as Alex Bergeron puts the move on James Tiernan to take over the second spot. Tiernan turns it back to the inside, and he'll maintain second at the start-finish line. But Cole Cabre's closing in on Anthony Lopresto for the final transfer spot.
Yeah, Cole Cabre working on top shelf of the racetrack. Gets a great run on Anthony Lopresto down the back straightaway. He'll take it back to the outside once again. We'll see if he'll get that great run. He'll try to run down the 4th and final transfer spot. Anthony Lopresto wants it. Cole Cabre needs it, and who's going to get it?
Man, James Tiernan just took the race lead on the very bottom side of the racetrack. He looked like Greg Wilson whenever the World of Outlaws show up to Eldora Speedway. He ran the complete bottom right next to the infield wall and took the lead away from Vinny Sansone. The 98 car has found something where nobody else has, and he's taking the lead here with just 3 laps to go.
Don't look out, but the 14 of Alex Bergeron is going to come with him down the bottom of the racetrack. That'll make it almost 3 wide for the race lead as Tiernan, he'll clear for the race lead at the moment, but Sansone drives right back on the outside. Good 3-car battle for the lead now.
3 grooves of racing have developed here on the bottom, through the middle, and on the top side of the racetrack. Still side by side up front between the 98 of Tiernan and the 80 car of Sansone. Bergeron hiding in the wind right now. Can he put a move on him here with the white flag out? Vinny Sansone surges ahead in turn number 1.
Yeah, Vinny Sansone working the top shelf of the racetrack. White flag in the air. Tiernan take it down to the bottom once again. We'll see if he can make the slide job into turn number 3 and 4. Bergeron right there with him as well. Coming to the line, it'll be Vinny Sansone here in heat race number 3.
And a great battle for the 4 spot ends up side by side, but Anthony Lopresto is able to hold off the charge from the 12 of Cole Cabre. So second place in the points will have to come out of the B main here tonight. Vinny Sansone will pick up the victory there in that 3rd heat race. James Tiernan with a good drive there will end up second. Then Alex Bergeron in the 3rd spot. Anthony Lopresto 4th, Cole Cabre, Matt Howard, and Bobby Sant Jr., a guy that's pretty far up there in the point standings as well, will have to come out of the B main. He ends up 7th. Final heat race of the night coming up next year, and here's how they'll line up for this one. James Eden's a guy that's had some bad luck this season. He'll start on the pole. Outside him, it's his teammate, the 44 car Blake Cannon. Row 2 inside, the 11 car Cole Newhalfen. And on the outside of him, haven't seen this driver for a couple weeks, had to take some time off, the 41 of Colton Hardy. Row number 3 on the inside, the 23 car, great run last week for Justin Thomas. And on the outside, the 22 car Trey Schmidt. And your final starter should be the number 16 car Trevor Fisher, rounding out this field. And man, you know, some guys that I thought would be pretty good in this series at the beginning of the season here, Tommy, like James Edens and Blake Cannon. They haven't really had the luck they've been looking for these first couple weeks, but they've got a good starting spot here in this heat race, maybe to turn that season around.
Yeah, new style of track here at the Eldora Speedway, may better fit for their driving style. They start first and second here in heat race number four. Got some great drivers once again here in heat race number 4. Justin Thomas last week picked up I do believe his first podium finish of the season. Starts back there in position number 5. He'll definitely be another driver to watch here in heat race number 4. Fourth and final heat race getting set to come your way.
Yeah, Justin Thomas joins the 52 car James Edens and the 44 car Blake Cannon as multiple-time Pro Series drivers. You know, we had earlier this year the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the Wing Sprint Cars. Then we had the World of Outlaws late models. Now we've got the USAC Sprint Cars. James Edens, your pole sitter, he was involved in all 3 of those series, running very good with the Wing Sprint Cars. Blake Cannon ran with the late models and now the non-wing cars, and Justin Thomas with the wing and non-wing sprint cars. So a lot of these guys are pretty dominant on the dirt side of things, and it's proven here with all these championship series here.
Yeah, James Edens definitely skilled in all different styles of racing on the dirt, late models, wing sprint cars, and here where he's starting on the pole for the wingless sprint car heat race number 4. Pace truck should be getting ready to pull in. Green flag is out, and James Edens will lead him down the front straightaway to turn number 1.
A fantastic start for the 11 car, Cole Newhoff, and he'll slide in front of Blake Cannon for the second spot. Newhoff into the top of the racetrack immediately, and that Craig Kinzer Sim Racing Team number 11 car down the backstretch. He tags the wall right there, and Cannon gets back by him for second.
Yeah, Blake Cannon, he's going to slide using the bottom of the racetrack. From the bottom of the racetrack looking really nice right now here in heat race number 4. Blake Cannon going to take advantage of that. Cole Newhoff stays to the top shelf. We got a spinner in the back.
Yeah, 2 cars getting together. Looks like Trevor Fisher, Colton Hardy. Hardy's blown up the engine on that 41 car. We will stay green, though, however. And now we've only got 5 cars duking it out for 4 transfers.
Yeah, Trey Schmidt on the outside looking in at the moment into 5th place position as Justin Thomas holding down the 4th and final transfer spot at the moment as we're 2 laps down. Still 6 laps remaining. It's James Edens showing the way. Maybe not for long. They're still side by side for second. Blake Cannon now back up to position number 2.
Yeah, Blake Cannon just burned an absolute lap right there, Tommy. He was 2/10 faster than your race leader, but those 2 are teammates. I'm sure they're going to take it easy at the front of the field just to make sure they punch their ticket into tonight's 30-lap main event. Cole Newhoff and just behind him, about 3 car lengths. And 4th right now is Justin Thomas trying to hold off a charge from the 22 car Trey Schmidt.
Yeah, Trey Schmidt looking for any way he can down the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find a way around Justin Thomas. Just can't quite make it happen. Gets a little loose right there. Back up front, pretty much single file right now. Cole Newhoff trying to find his way once again back around Blake Cannon, the 44, as we're 5 laps down, 3 laps remaining here in heat race number 4.
Pretty interesting to see what this racetrack is doing right now. It seems like it's way up on the fence. Oh, I didn't realize the checker to come out there. Sorry, Tommy. James Edens will get the win. Blake Cannon, Cole Newhoff, Justin Thomas, Trey Schmidt, Trevor Fisher, and Colton Hardy. Like I was saying there, it seems like the track in 1 and 2, Tommy, is right through the middle, it seems like. It's not really gotten up to the top of the racetrack quite yet. So interesting to see how this track's working out, as it looks like the B mains are going to be coming up here next.
Actually, Chase, we're going to the white flag lap right now. The 44 of Blake Cannon looking on the inside of Edens. 2 more. White flag is out. Cannon on the bottom of the racetrack. James Edens on the outside coming into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. It'll be James Edens with the win here at heat race number 4.
Correct, Tommy. James Edens does get the win. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties there, ladies and gentlemen, as James Edens does end up getting the win there. And Blake Cannon, I believe, was in the 2nd spot there, as followed by Tommy. You know the rest of the lineup. I'm still trying to figure out some issues here with Mike.
Cole Newhoff will take 3rd. Colton Hardy, he'll take home the 4th and final transfer spot. Excuse me, that's the grid. I did not get the results. Actually, did not show up on the screen, but I do know James Edens won it. Blake Cannon 2nd. Cole Newhoff in 3rd.
Yep, you've got it right there. Trey Schmidt 4th, Justin Thomas, Trevor Fisher, and Colton Hardy. They're going to have to come out of that last chance qualifier. I'll step in for a little bit as Chase tries to figure out what in the world happened, and we'll get into your twin last chance qualifiers we have gridding up for you right now. So once again, 2 of these drivers will come out of each of these next 2 races, and let's take a look at the starting grid. Zach Leonardi will start on the pole position for this one with Cole Cabray on the outside of that front row. That's 2 heavy hitters starting up near the front of this first LCQ. Jeff Nevins and Matt Howard on that 2nd row with Chase Cabray and Bobby Sant Jr. on row number 3, and Ryan Diotti will round out the field here. And Tommy, it's been a very racy racetrack thus far. Guys trying all sorts of lines. We've seen the bottom work, we've seen the middle work, we've seen the top work. You know, you have a plethora of options as you try to get your way out of this LCQ and into the main event, but at the end of the day, only 2 people are going to come out of this race.
Yeah, 2 LCQs coming up. You got 2nd and 4th here in last chance qualifier number 1. As far as the points are concerned, Zach Leonardi currently sitting 4th in the USAC World Championship point standings. Cole Cabray, He's currently sitting second in those point standings. Those two drivers definitely want to try to transfer out of this last chance qualifier over to the main event to keep their point standings intact and stay up there towards David Heilman, trying to run him down throughout the season.
To the 24, Zach Leonardi, we saw him struggle in qualifying, and after that was not able to rebound in his heat race. Let's see if the 24 can make something of this, though, and transfer his way out of the last chance qualifier. And along with him, I think Cole Cabre is likely going to be the favorite to come through as well. Waiting on that green flag, the 24 gets on it after he sees it. In towards turn 1 for the first time. The 24 and the 12 get single filed out, but they're 3 wide, nearly back there for the 4th spot, as I believe that's Chase Cabre up the middle trying to hold on to that. No, I take that back. He's up top. It's a 0-0 of Jeff Nevins in the middle. They fan out nearly 4 wide as we got a driver around from the head of the field. Who was that at the head of the field? Ryan Diotti, Zach Leonardi, and Cole Cabre. They're holding the top 2 spots, but 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they're 3 wide right now, Tommy.
Yeah, good battle right now for the 3rd place spot. Problem is that's not a transfer spot. Chase Cabre on the outside of the racetrack going to try to run down Cole Cabre for position number 2 now as Chase Cabre working the top shelf of the racetrack. He has cleared the 4th and 5th place drivers, now has his sights set on the top 2.
Top 2 still holding on here as Chase Cabre is going to have to try and chase down his little brother for a last chance qualifier spot to get into the main event. So Cole's going to have to take that fight to the 24 of Zach Leonardi. Top 2 run the middle, 3rd place car right up to the cushion. Diamonds off the exit down the front straightaway and in towards 1 and 2. The 39 looks like he's making up ground on his little brother. 200s were reeled in that time, but Jeff Nevins, he's checked in. Player 2 has joined the fight behind the 00 RNS Motorsports car on Chase Cabre. Chase is able to get away for a moment and he reels that gap in down to little brother.
Yeah, Chase Cabre right there on the back bumper now of his little brother Cole Cabre. Down the back straight away. They'll work into turn number 3 and 4. Chase right there. He's going to try to take it to the top shelf and make a move on his brother here on the front straight away, working lap number 6.
Hopefully family's not worrying about who they're going to have, if they're going to have to be a referee in a fight following a potential move that happens here. Cole defends the bottom, but Chase wants the cushion. Through 3 and 4 this time. Look at the run from the 39. He's going to get nearly clear of Cole Cabre through 1 and 2, and I think Cole's going to let him have it. Meanwhile, in the background, a slider got thrown on the 00 of Jeff Nevins by Bobby Sant Jr., and Jeff gets put up into the wall after Bobby threw a optimistic slider. But now can the 39 of Chase Cabre chase down Zach Leonardi after bumping his brother out of one of these transfer spots?
Yeah, Chase Cabre's got a hot rod on the outside top shelf of the racetrack here at Eldora. Now has his sights set on the race leader, Zach Leonardi, here in the first last chance qualifier. Chase Cabre working that cushion here at Eldora down the back straight away as we're coming around. It'll be 2 laps to go next time by.
39 car trying to reel it in. The colors are similar, the paints are similar, but these two are not teammates whatsoever. Popsicle sticks at the starter stand that time. Chase, last trip around the racetrack with a 10th and a half quicker, but he's in the wall. And the 12 of Cole Cabre gets into him as well. And that's going to allow Bobby Sant Jr. to slip into a transfer spot. White flag at the timing stand this time. And the 131 Jim Beaver Esports car representing a new team got a gimme as Chase Cabre made an uncharacteristic mistake, and coming off of turn 4 for the final time, Zach Leonardi and Bobby Sant Jr. will be transferring to the main event, and both of the Cabre brothers are going to be leaving here disappointed.
Oh my goodness, Cole Cabre running 3rd. Chase Cabre just gets into the wall here at Eldora. That's one of the most dangerous things that can happen to you. Cole with nowhere to go. And now another Cabre will be in tonight's main event as Bobby Sant Jr. sneaks in there with that Beaver Esports 131 machine to take home the 2nd and final transfer spot.
See the rest of the results cycling through. Matt Howard, Cole Cabre, Ryan Diotti, Chase Cabre, and Jeff Nevins. Their nights are going to be over, but Zach Leonardi and Bobby Sant Jr., they will be heading back to the main event. We'll see them in about 10 minutes' time. And Chase Rodman, I think we have you back.
Yeah, I think we got it figured out, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to be an awkward dinner table tonight for the Cabre family as the 12 car was in the championship hunt there, and Chase Cabre's older brother, who has missed a couple races with this series this year, got by him, and then obviously, as you saw there, kind of ruined his night. But that's going to be an awkward dinner, like I mentioned. Here we go, B main number 2, Rusty Kruger's on the pole this one, and on the outside of him is the 23 car Justin Thomas, row 2 inside the 18 of Austin Selman, and on the outside is the 16 of Trevor Fisher. Row 3 inside the 83 car Hunter Connolly, and on the outside the 41 car of Colton Hardy. And your final starter should be the number 3 car of Lewis Hewitt. And two guys that really jump out here in this B main right here, Tommy, has to be Justin Thomas and Austin Selman. But after the move from Rusty Kruger in the heat race, I don't think you can keep your eyes off him as well.
Yeah, Rusty Kruger threw a Hail Mary, did not quite work in his heat race earlier on. He starts the pole here in B main number 2, but Justin Thomas currently, like I said earlier, got his first podium finish last weekend at the, I do believe we were at Lima Land last week, got his first podium finish there. Austin Selman currently sitting 6th in the points, definitely would like to improve on that. And it all starts here in the second last chance qualifier, starts 3rd, only take the top 2.
Yeah, I think last year, a guy that we haven't really talked about yet in this B main, the 16 car, Trevor Fisher last week at Lima Land was very good as well. So these top 4 guys really all have a shot to put it in a transfer spot here. But like we've mentioned a couple times, only the top 2 will get the job done. Kruger and Thomas up front. I believe those are teammates. Oh, no, they're not teammates, but they're good friends in real life, I should say. Rusty Kruger and Justin Thomas are as the pace truck pulls off, and Rusty Kruger gets on the throttle. We're green.
Rusty Kruger, the fine machine, going to try to run away with it here early on, but Justin Thomas says not so fast, pulls along the inside up, down the back straightaway, going to try to run him down for the race lead as Austin Selman settles into the 3rd place spot, working lap number 1.
Oh boy, this is already getting good just behind him for that 2nd spot, side by side for P2. Contact at turn number 1. Justin Thomas and Austin Selman get together. Now Thomas turns it down the hill off turn number 2, down the back straightaway, trying to get around the 18 car into the wall behind him, and one upside down. That's the 16 and Trevor Fisher.
Well, Trevor Fisher's night pretty much over with, right there, upside down. Austin Selman with a great move on the outside of the racetrack up to 2nd. Now challenging for the lead. Justin Thomas right there with him as well. As Thomas on the outside looking in at the moment. Here comes Selman on the inside for Rusty Kruger for the race lead here in last chance qualifier number 2.
Selman does not want to be sitting on the bubble. He wants a little bit of insurance. He's going to try and take the lead away from Rusty Kruger. Here he goes to the middle of the racetrack, but Kruger's been so good up top this entire night. He'll hold him off one more time. Now Selman looks for a slide job possibly. Nope, he'll run the middle of the racetrack and turns 3 and 4. All the while, the 23 car Thomas is closing in.
Yeah, you know Rusty Kruger is good on the top shelf on the racetrack. Saw in the heat race, but someone right there finally gets clear of him. Kruger's going to try to cross him back over once again down the back straightaway. And now Kruger will be the man to put the slide job on Selman into turn number 3 and 4. All the while, here comes Justin Thomas peeking into the picture.
Wow, the 18 nearly got into the wall, had to pitch the car sideways to not hit the concrete. 3 wide for the race lead off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Only the top 2 are going to the feature. Tommy, who's it going to be?
Coming to halfway home this time. Still Rusty Kruger showing the way. Austin Selman in position number 2. Now Justin Thomas sitting in 3rd. And all the while you got Hunter Connolly, Lewis Hewitt right there as well, peeping in the picture. And as I say that, those two make contact and do believe they're going to be out of the race.
Yeah, holy cow. These guys at the front of the field absolutely getting after the 4th place car, Colton Hardy. He's about a half straightaway behind these guys. If any contact happens, he might be looking like Bobby Sand Jr. in the first B-main and be able to get a transfer here as they're nose to tail for the top 3 spots down the back straightaway.
Justin Thomas still can't find a way around the top 2 drivers, still sitting on the outside looking in at the moment, coming around to 8 laps complete, still 4 laps remaining. Selman, who looks maybe comfortable right now in the 2nd place position as he can't quite find a way around Kruger. Now he's going to have to protect 2nd as they come around to 3 laps to go next time by.
Selman drops the nose for the slide job on the 5 of Kruger. Now he's got the lead. Kruger right back underneath him down the front straightaway. This is what the 23 Thomas needs as he closes back in on him here with 2 laps to go this next time by. Thomas trying to find an opening for the race lead here.
2 sticks in the air. 2 sticks will be in the air this time. Selman crosses Kruger back over this time, and then Kruger can't quite get the run. Selman to the race lead 2 more times around the racetrack.
Oh my, Justin Thomas right now, where does he go? He looks to the inside down the back straightaway, gets a good run off the top of the hill, down to the top of the racetrack in 3 and 4th for the 23 car. Does he put a move on the 5 car, Rusty Kruger? We know how bad Kruger wants to put it in the feature event. We're coming by next time by after on the white flag right here. Thomas gets sideways, backs into turn number 1, down the back stretch. He's going to get a huge run on the 5 of Kruger. Into 3 and 4, Kruger's going to block the slider line, the 23 to the inside, contact, and Rusty Kruger's going to hang on to the transfer spot.
Rusty Kruger had to hang on for all it was worth right there. Justin Thomas threw it in there as hard as he could, just couldn't quite make the pass without making the contact and let off the gas. Good sportsmanship right there. Nonetheless, Austin Selman with the win. Rusty Kruger with the 2nd and final transfer spot. Great drive by those drivers.
Wow, that was a pretty entertaining battle right there for the 2nd and final transfer spot into tonight's feature event. Just missing out the 23 car Justin Thomas, the 41 of Colton Hardy, the 3 of Lewis Hewitt, the 83 car Hunter Connolly, and the 16 of Trevor Fisher. And that'll be it for prelim action here tonight. And Randy, if you're with us, it's time for this 30-lap main event.
Yeah, the clock is ticking down right now. 3 minutes is what we got. In 30 seconds, drivers will be able to get out there on the racetrack and get some time trial running, get them some hot laps, and see if they need to make any adjustments to those race cars before the main event. But, I mean, we sort of lost it a little bit, Chase. Talked about the fact that that Chase and Cole Cabrera were family. That was actually a hugely impactful moment in the championship. The fact that the 12 is unable to slip by his brother there when Chase makes that mistake and can't get into the main event. Cole came into this race second in the points, and he will not make the feature, whereas his current rival, the 49 of David Heilman, starting outside of the front row. David's setting up for a very, very Alex Bergeron-esque run through this championship.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough break right there for the 12 of Cabrera. That's really just going to hand... now, David Heilman, he came in with already a 26-point advantage over Cole and over 30 points over the next driver. So Heilman right now, I'm sure he knows it already, but he's really just got to cruise around here and just get a top 5 with the bad luck from your second-place driver in the point standing. So David Heilman, the pressure's off him right now unless he wants to go for another victory here.
And Tommy, this is going to be a hectic moment for all these guys. We just saw how intense the LCQs were going to be with the guys fighting for the availability and getting the opportunity to run in this main event. Now these guys are getting ready to set up. You're going to put 20 of them out there for the first time. Most cars you're going to see all night out there on the racetrack, of course, for the longest duration we're going to have. This is going to be an intense race. There's going to be no punches pulled, I think, with the fact that there's so many grooves currently running right now. I mean, we had that in that last LCQ. I think the lead swapped something like 3 or 4 times in about 2 laps. This is going to be a fun track for these guys to race on.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and it would not be surprising at all to see some of these drivers that start towards the back, like an Austin Simmelman or somebody like that, maybe Zach Leonardi, to come towards the front, because you have so many grooves working right now at Eldora, and that slider line is always in effect when these drivers enter the corners here at Eldora.
As drivers log their last couple of hot laps before they get out there for the main event, it is time for us to get ready. Will the 49 and David Heilman be able to put a potential lock on this championship due to his primary rival at the moment of Cole Cabrera dropping out before the main event? Or will someone else be able to step up and take it to the 49, such as the 9 of Joel Berkeley, the 24 of Zach Leonardi, or maybe even Austin Selman from the back of this main event? The horn has been sounded for the drivers to get called to the starting grid. Drivers are getting pushed over there now, and we're getting ready to start pushing off race cars. Chase and Tommy have the call. Chase, take us down your starting grid.
Here we go on the pole for tonight's 4th round of the USAC World Championship Series presented by FlowRacing.com. On the pole, it's the car number 10 looking for his first career series victory. It's Skylar Brown. On the outside of him, out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the 49 car, current series point leader and defending race winner for the past 2 races, David Heilman. Row 2 inside, car number 80 is Vinny Sansone. On the outside of him, it's the 52 car of James Edens. Row 3 inside, 74 Adam Elby. And on the outside of him, currently third in the point standings, the 9 car of Joel Berkeley. Row number 4 on the inside, the 98 is James Tiernan, and on the outside of him, the 44 car of Blake Cannon. Row 5 inside, the 211 of Alex Smulders, and opening round winner at Fairbury, the number 20 car of Brennan Rogers, goes from 10th. Starting 11th tonight, the 14 car of Alex Bergeron. On the outside of him, rolling off from the 12th starting spot, the 11 car Cole Newhalfen. And in row number 7 will be the 901 of Joe Quinn. To the outside of him, it's going to be the 121 of Josh Fox. Row number 8 inside, the 57 car of Anthony Lepresto. Outside him, the 22 of Trey Schmidt. Row number 9, this guy needs to get up there at the front of the field if he wants to maintain a points gap there to the 49 of David Heilman. That's the 24 of Zach Leon Hardy. And on the outside of him, the 18 car of Austin Selman. The Golden Horseshoe is in this guy's back pocket in tonight's B-main event. The 131 of Bobby Sant Jr. goes from 19th. And your final starter is the 5K of Rusty Kruger, rolling off from 20th. Tommy, Skylar Brown, I'm good friends with him on Facebook. And he just put something up on his Facebook. He said, got quick time, won the heat race, starting pole for the feature, just a little bit nervous. And we've heard that several times throughout these last couple weeks. These guys get nervous out there up front, these things.
Absolutely. Skylar Brown starting on the front row pole, but David Heilman looking for the three-peat here tonight. Starting outside of the front row, can anybody take down the 49 here tonight at Eldora? Very different racetrack, but David seemed very, very fast in his heat race, and he's in one of the best starting spots you can ask for here. Front row outside as we get ready to go green here for tonight's 30-lap main event.
Skylar Brown and David Heilman, Vinny Sansone and James Edens Joel Berkeley and Adam Elby, your first 3 rows. Here we go. Pace truck pulling off here at the Eldora Speedway. Off of turn number 4. 30 laps work right here at Eldora.
And it'll be Skylar Brown in that 10 machine, lead him down into turn number 1 and 2. David Heilman, he'll keep it on the top shelf of the racetrack. Vinny Sansone pulls alongside Heilman. Sansone will move out to position number 2, working into turn number 3 and 4.
Everybody fanning out to different parts of the racetrack. Guys up top, guys on the bottom, guys right through the middle of the racetrack. Skylar Brown leads up 1-3 wide for the lead at turn number 1. Here comes the 49 of Heilman through the middle, Skylar. Tommy, my goodness, here we go.
Adam Elby right there as well in the 74, knocking on the door. He'll take it down to the bottom of the racetrack. How about 3 wide for second as Sansone moves up to the race lead for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, your early leader there, Skylar Brown, got a little bit of a misstep off turn 2. Heilemann with a slide job. He takes the lead. Sansone right back down to the inside. And oh my, we've already had 3 lead changes in 3 laps.
Grooves everywhere here at the Eldora Speedway working right now. Sansone up to the race lead. How long is he going to have it for? Just a moment. There's 3 wide still for position number 2. Almost 4 wide as the 98 of James Tiernan trying to throw his car in the mix. Yeah,
James Tiernan was very good in his heat race. He's looking real good early in this one. He's running 5th right now in car number 98. Just in front of him, it's Elby and Brown. Here comes Heilman now. Looking to the inside of Sansone for the race lead, side by side down the back straightaway.
David Heilman trying to make it 3 feature wins in a row with the iRacing World Championship Series presented by Flow Racing. He slides up in front of the race lead once again. He'll lead lap number 5.
Sansone turns it right back underneath him. He'll throw a slide job into turn number 1. Sansone's got the spot back now. Heilman turns it right back underneath him once again down the back straightaway. And Heilman's got a big lead entering turn 3. Sansone tries coming right back at him.
Don't look now. Here comes the 98 of James Tiernan. He's now up to position number 3. Now maybe he'll challenge for the race lead here in just a moment. Working the bottom of the racetrack here at Eldora as David Heilman now on the top shelf of the racetrack trying to run away with it.
And David Heilman asserting his dominance here in this one. I thought he might take it easy with how things have played out here tonight, but he's going for 3 in a row with this series. James Tiernan, though, on the bottom of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, has made his way almost to the 2nd spot. He's challenging right next to Vinny Sansone right now for P2.
And Tiernan still working the bottom of the racetrack. Sansone falling back just a little bit, working about the middle of the racetrack. Not on the top, not on the bottom, just working kind of through the middle. A little different group than what Heilman and Tiernan are running right now, but it's working for him. He's hanging on to 2nd as they work down the back straightaway.
Yep, Tiernan now clears the 80 car. Sansone will keep an eye on the lap times right here to see if Tiernan can track down the 49 of Heilman. They're running completely different lap places on the racetrack. That time by Heilman with a 16.2 and Tiernan with a 16.3. So Heilman right now pulling away up front.
And Brendan Rogers, he's up to position number 6, started 10th right now. Skylar Brown, your pulse hitters, still hanging on to a top 5 for the moment. All kinds of action back here as Brendan Rogers, he splits about 3 cars right there. How about 3 wide for 5th now?
Almost 4 wide off turn 2. Wow, what a move by Rogers. He tried to split between Elby and Edens, and he'll get the job done. Slide up in front of Adam Elby, and Rogers might have the 5th spot here off turn number 4.
Yeah, Brendan Rogers actually battling for position number 5 now, maybe even more. Skylar Brown back up to the 4th place position, but back up front, David Heilman stretched his lead out. 1 second is the difference between him and the 98 of James Tiernan at the moment.
David Heilman so smooth up on the top of the racetrack as Brendan Rogers throws a big slide job into turn number 1 on Adam Elby. He's going to go in front of Skylar Brown almost, but Rogers does clear the 74 of Elby, and Brendan Rogers up to 5th now.
Yeah, good 3 wide racing still for the top 5 spot. Adam Elby back up to 4th, and they're 3 wide. That'll be Brendan Rogers in the middle, and now I do believe that's the 52 of James Edens on the bottom of the racetrack.
Oh my, this battle for the 4th position is incredible. 3 wide again off turn number 2. Here comes the 52 car. James Edens making a 4-car battle for the 4th spot as Skylar Brown puts a move on Adam Elby, tries to slide him, but Elby drives around on the outside off turn number 4.
Somehow with a 3 wide battle, they somehow managed to run down Vinny Sansone in the 80 machine, and now it's a 3-car dance for position number 3. A lot of contact in the middle of the field, and we have our first caution here on lap number 14.
Yeah, and it's Brendan Rogers who has put on an absolute show right there. Got into it with James Edens down the front straightaway, and Rogers put the rear right into the concrete and got hit by several drivers, got upside down here on lap number 15. But only 1 caution, man. We went halfway through the race there, Tommy, and saw some incredible racing. Brendan Rogers brings it out with 15 in here.
Very exciting racing to watch right there. The one driver that did not want to see that caution was the man on top of the leaderboards right now, David Heilman. That race is a little over a 2nd lead from the 98 of James Tiernan. Tiernan's going to have clear racetrack to try to run down Heilman for that race lead now.
And James Edens looks like he's heading to the pit area in car number 52. Had some kind of problem. He got in it with Brendan Rogers right there and might have some damage to the front end of that Swindell Speedlab Esports number 52 car. So he is surely going to be out of contention for tonight's victory. So tough break there. He was running inside the top 10. And that'll move Joel Berkeley now into the top 5. And car number 9, your guy that's in the 3rd spot in the point standings, is looking to have a good run here tonight as well.
Yeah, Joel Berkeley looking to improve on it. He's currently sitting 3rd in the standings, probably going to improve on that here tonight. As Cole Cabrera, your runner-up in the points right now, did not make it to the main event. So Joel Berkeley looking to have a good run here and put himself on the runner-up spot. As the top prize in points, I do believe Chase pays, what, $6,000 to win, then it's, what, $3,000 and $1,000 for 3rd. So good money on the line for the top 3 in points.
And not only that, but a trip to Ventura, California to meet Corey Cruzman and go through his sprint car driving school down there at the Ventura Raceway, which is a very cool prize to see these guys at USAC, iRacing, and Flow Racing giving out. We're about to go green this time by off turn number 4. David Heilemann, James Tiernan, and Vinny Sansone, your top 3. Let's see what the 98 of Tiernan's got as we go back green.
David Heilemann with a good restart right there. Pulls away but about 3 car lengths. Tiernan will take it down to the bottom of the racetrack, try to get the run. David Heilemann just too much motor on the outside.
Tiernan gets a good drive off turn number 2, maintains about 3 car length gap back to the 49 of David Heilemann. Here he comes to the inside, pulls even with him in the center of the corner. The 98 car's got something figured out down low.
And Tiernan still working the bottom, very committed down there, trying to make something happen. Heilemann pulls away a couple of car lengths down the back straightaway. We'll see if Tiernan will take it to the outside of the racetrack or if he'll be committed to the bottom. Meanwhile, here comes the 74, Adam Elby, once again trying to throw his hat in the picture.
Yep, Elby. He got by Vinny Sansone, who got into the wall right there that last time by through turns 1 and 2. Sansone dropped to the back of the field, slider behind Elby for that 4th spot. Give it to Skylar Brown now as he slides in front of the 14 car of Alex Bergeron.
It'll be the 9 laps to go this time for the 49 of David Heilemann. James Tiernan 2nd. Adam Elby holding on to position number 3 as they're pretty much single file right now, 1 through 5. Bergeron into the top 5 now, looking for more over Skylar Brown in car number 10.
Yeah, the 14 of Alex Bergeron just rolled the bottom real nice right there. Gets by the 10 car Brown. Now he throws a slide job on the 74 for Adam Elby. And now Bergeron, late in the race, has moved up to 3rd, but the caution's going to come out, Tommy.
Caution out on the racetrack. Maybe what Bergeron wanted to see right there. He'll restart 3rd if we get a restart in, as we're 22 laps down, still 8 laps remaining. So I do believe we'll get a restart in as David Heilemann showing the way. James Tiernan 2nd, but Alex Bergeron on the move right now. Started 11th up to 3rd. Great run by him. May have found something late in this race.
Yep, caution coming out there for the 44 car Blake Cannon, who made some contact with the 11 of Cole Newhoffman to bring out the yellow. Definitely will get a restart, and like you said there, Tommy, the 14 of Bergeron is loving the caution because Heilemann was out to a pretty solid advantage right there. That's going to bring the 14 right back up into him here, and Bergeron rolling the bottom like we saw the 98 of Tiernan do, which is not too characteristic here of Eldora Speedway, but he's making it work right now against all odds.
Yeah, absolutely. Ran a great lap time the lap beforehand, 16.5. David Heilemann was running a 16.8 on the same lap, so a couple of tenths faster. Alex Bergeron working the bottom of the racetrack the lap before the caution came out, but nonetheless, David Heilemann trying to look for the three-peat here tonight at Eldora.
Yeah, the thing about that bottom line, though, is, Tommy, we don't have to worry about tractor tires at a place like this, just pretty much that inside wall, but it's so much easier to run down there on the bottom. While Heilemann, one mistake, we will see him into the concrete wall like we've seen so many guys already tonight. So Bergeron really banking on those guys making mistakes on the top of the racetrack. So we'll see if that bottom side will pay off for him. He's up to the 3rd spot. He's got about 4 laps to, or make it 5 laps to have something happen here, as David Heilemann will lead James Tiernan, Bergeron, Elby, and Brown back to the green flag, and we're underway with 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go. David Heilemann back on the gas here at Eldora, and here comes Bergeron. Tiernan right there trying to make it 3 wide. Heilemann will take it back to the top once again. Tiernan trying to close down the back straightaway.
Oh man, David Heilemann might have to switch up his line. Here comes the 98 Tiernan. Tiernan gets the inside wall right there, hangs onto it, and he'll maintain a pretty good gap back to the 49 of Heilemann. Here comes the 14 of Bergeron on the outside.
Bergeron took it top shelf. He's going to try to take over 2nd now from the 98 of Tiernan. Those 2 drivers look like they make a little contact right there. David Heilemann trying to run away with it as Alex Bergeron just can't quite find a way around the 98 of James Tiernan.
Yep, Tiernan lines up the racetrack. Bergeron right there with him, but while they're messing around with each other, the 49 car is pulling away. They've got to sort this out or else he's going to win an easy one here. Bergeron right back down to the inside of the 98 car of Tiernan down the back straightaway with just 2 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, 2 more times around the racetrack for the Hylomaniac, David Heilman in the Slick Sim Sports number 49 machine. They're still side by side for a second. All that's doing is allowing the Hylomaniac to run away 1.5 more times around the racetrack here at Eldora.
Down the back straightaway for the penultimate time for the 49 car. The yellow's going to come out. Caution is out, and that will end the race as the 901 of Joe Quinn has gotten into the wall. And it got collected with the 22 car. Looks like Trey Schmidt was there as well as the 5 of Rusty Kruger. But the 901 of Joe Quinn bring out the caution, and that'll hand the win right over the 49 car of David Heileman. That's the second time we've seen that this season, Tommy, that Heileman takes a win under yellow.
Yeah, tough break for the 901 of Joe Quinn. Just gets into the cushion just a little too hard right there and goes into the wall, and I'll bring out the caution on the final lap. But great drive by David Heileman. I know he'll take it any way he can get it, and that'll set up for the three-peat here tonight at Eldora.
Yep, David Heileman with the victory here tonight at Eldora Speedway. Second spot went to James Tiernan. Third to Alex Bergeron. Fourth was Adam Elby. Fifth was your pole sitter, the 10 car of Skylar Brown. Then it was Josh Fox, Joel Berkeley, Alex Smolders, Cole Newhoffen, and Zach Leon Hardy, your top 10. Behind those guys, 11th spot was Trey Schmidt. 12th was Bobby Sand Jr. 13th was Rusty Kruger. Then it was Joe Quinn, Vinny Sansone, Blake Cannon, James Edens, Brennan Rogers, Austin Selman, and the 57 car of Anthony Lepresto round out your field. 14 cars finishing on the lead lap there, so a couple of guys running into some problems there. And pretty soon here, we're going to talk to our top 3, I believe, here.
David Heilman put on a great show here tonight. Pretty much led from start to finish as he took the lead early on and never looked back. But great drive by Alex Bergeron. Started 11th, made it exciting at the end. James Tiernan as well, both working the bottom of the racetrack. Unfortunately, the caution comes out, and those drivers do not have the chance to make one of those last lap turn forward passes as we've seen in the past. But nonetheless, we'll get some of these drivers up here for the interview and talk with David Heilman, your main winner here in just a little bit.
Yeah, while we're doing that, we're going to get these drivers out of their cars and up here into the broadcast booth. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. If you want to listen to the interviews with tonight's top 3, make sure you head on back over here. We'll be right back. We're going to send it over to a quick ad.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
What an amazing night of racing from the Eldora Speedway. Absolutely all sorts of racing lines getting run. You know, the groove tonight was basically just Eldora because the entire racetrack was available to these guys, and the man who ended up taking it home was the Hylomaniac himself, David Heileman, who will become the first driver across these 3 Dirt Oval World Championships to win 3 in a row. David, I'm here to try to keep you a little bit under control, but Hylomania has definitely showed up with the non-wing sprint cars.
Yeah, I really think this one came as a big surprise to absolutely no one. That's why they call it the Big Easy. Hell of a race, fun time battling with Vinny at the start, but yeah, Hylomania is all cylinders going. It ain't stopping until it gets to Ventura Raceway.
And talking about this championship thus now, David, you're being very Bergeron-esque. I don't think there's anyone else I could compare you to.
First
except
off, I'm
Alex
being
Bergeron.
Heilemann-esque.
There's no. You haven't performed good enough.
Alex won 3 times in a row.
Well, the thing is, though, is that you're blitzing away from this championship the way he did in the winged cars. All of your championship rivals coming into this race basically failed to execute. Cole Cabre got caught up with his brother, couldn't make the main event. Your teammate Joel Berkeley finished down in 7th, I believe. Zach Leonardi had a terrible night, that 24 car just didn't really ever seem up to speed, and he ended up finishing 10th in the main event. How does it feel? You're basically in a dominant position now after 4 races. You're going to have a huge points lead going into Knoxville.
Yeah, like you said, we were hoping to get all top 10s with us guys because we knew coming in we could leave tonight 1, 2, 3. And I don't know, I held up my thing winging it. I don't know what happened with those guys back there, but yeah, like I said, a lot of guys had a lot of trouble, so I was just thinking points the whole time. But when you see the front, when you see clear air in one of these pro races, it's hard to not go after it.
Now, I have to ask you this, David. We saw in the World of Outlaws, Morton Building's late model series, after Eldora, Blake Cannon hiked himself up pretty hard, and by the end of it, he wasn't even a factor. Is it in the back of your head that you might be in some ways jinxing yourself and might lose track of this championship through the second half?
Hey, if I didn't talk all this crap when I win, I'd never get to do it. So I like to I gotta do it while I can, before I fall off this awesome run.
There you are, David. Congrats on another big win here in the USAC World Championship Series presented by Flow Racing. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that number 49 Slick Sim Sport car?
All the guys back at Slick. Two Brothers Stream Team, Wicked Energy Gum, Napa Auto Parts, Race Spot, Flow Racing, everybody. Shout out to my best friend if they're watching. They are truly the wind beneath my wings. And hell yeah, can't wait for next week. It's going to be halfway through the season. We're just trying to stay focused, trying to keep this streak rolling. Crap, man. Fun race. Sorry, I'm rambling. See you guys next week.
Yep, we're not going to let David Heilemann ramble because that's how you get into very dangerous territory. But congratulations to you, David, and good luck to you as we move on to Knoxville in the second half of the championship. Second place finisher tonight is going to be double, actually, James Tunin. Double the position, double the number. This is what happens when you don't drag David Heilemann out of the Team Speak channel in a timely manner. But second place finisher James Tunin, Chase Rodman has stood by with him.
Yeah, James, a heck of a run here for you tonight, man. I feel like we really haven't talked about you all season long. Didn't really think that you might become a factor in one of these races, but tonight you proved us all wrong, man. Running right around the infield wall here at Eldora Speedway. Tell us about the run. Did you think you had anything for David there?
I don't know if I had anything for David. I'd have to get lucky. As far as the internet goes, I thought I saw him smack the wall. I don't know if that was just me and kind of my internet doing weird stuff, but I knew I had a quick car running into this. My friend Billy Rowley was really helping me out with setups. I feel like that's where we've been lacking all season with that whole rear end geometry change. And just now catching up, you saw my car had a monster bite coming off the corners. And yeah, hopefully I'll be challenging for, top threes a little more often this season.
Yeah, man, absolutely fantastic job here tonight. We thought you were going to steal one away from the Heilemaniac there. Heading to a place like Knoxville next week. Arguably, besides, I'd say, Williams Grove, probably one of the sketchier places that these cars go to, especially Williams Grove, a place where it seems like you can bike up the race car and lift up the left rear tire and, have a little incident there. Heading to Knoxville, what are you expecting from there?
I'd expect a very similar track to this, probably high line dominating most of it, and then maybe that low line coming in for those who are brave and willing to kind of run that berm, but I don't think there's going to be that much difference between here and there.
Nice, man. So great job tonight. Who are some of the sponsors you want to thank on the car?
Well, most of all, I'd like to thank the Racers Real Estate, Ergot Real Estate. So if you're looking for property and you're specifically dealing with, you got trailers, that kind of stuff, Ergot's definitely the guy to go to. If he can't help you out specifically, he can point you to people who are able to help you out. I'd like to thank Billy Rowley and his stream on the Tunican 79. He runs a bunch of races. He was helping me spot, as well as Anthony Job. So huge shout out to them. I'd like to give a shout out to Motorsports Beat and Over the Wall Photography and just everyone behind me, because it's been rough the first couple weeks, but I think we're heading the right direction now. And thank you all for broadcasting this.
Well, having a guy like Sprint Car Cast Billy on your side, one of the more notable dirt guys on the Twitterverse, is a great guy to have on your side. And standing by with tonight's third place finisher, Alex Bergeron. That is Tommy Rowe. Tommy, take it away for Alex Bergeron.
All right, Alex Bergeron, our third place finisher here tonight. Alex, you didn't have quite the qualifying effort that you wanted to, but you came out of here with a third place finish tonight. Tell us about your race, man.
It was awesome. We ran the bottom there for a few laps, and it kind of worked out for us. In the middle of the race, we got stuck there on the outside and couldn't do any moves. So we just decided to wait and just see what was going to happen. And we decided to run the bottom there in 1 and 2, and we found ourselves in the top 3 there at the end. And I can't be more happier about that.
Well, you came in tonight 12th in the point standings after the great finish tonight. Definitely going to move up. Are you finally putting it all together? You had a couple of bad luck runs early on in the season, the first couple of races. Do you feel like you're finally putting it all together to make a run at the championship?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. It's an up and down week, really. We've had good races and bad races, and we didn't even make the feature last week. So just like we've seen tonight, Cole Cabrera didn't make the feature. He's second in points before that race. So everything had turned out pretty quick, and we just got to be in the right position at the right time and make things happen.
You got Knoxville Raceway coming up next week. What do you expect from there?
Super speedway track. It's going to be real tough for sure. I don't know. Yeah, what's the line going to be? We could expect anything. It's it could be bottom, it could be top. There's going to be a rough cushion, and we just got to see how it goes and hope for the best.
Well, great drive by you here tonight, Alex. Who helps you get it done on the race car?
Well, I got to thank all my partners, CSI Chalks, Pit Logic, DK Designs, Niobe.com, Meyer Inc., Team ABR crew, my teammate Jason Nygaard, and my girlfriend. We put so much work, and it's tough to have some bad luck sometimes, but it's part of racing. But tonight it's such a joy to finish in top 3 for the series, and it's a good relief. I thank all the fans out there, everybody for watching, USAC Racing for putting the series up, and you guys for broadcasting, and we'll see you at Knoxville.
Well, Alex, great run by you here tonight. Congratulations. Best of luck to you in the future, bud.
Thank you, Tommy.
All right, race fans, that was Alex Bergeron, your third place finisher here tonight at Eldora, and I do believe Chase Rodman is standing by with our fourth place finisher here tonight, Adam Elby.
That is correct. Standing by with the 74 car tonight, driver Adam Elby, fourth place run. Adam ran into some bad luck back at Kokomo, did not make the feature event, but tonight coming home with a solid fourth place run. I think without that bad luck there at Kokomo, Adam, you might be up there in the championship hunt. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think we'd be close to top 5 in points. It was just kind of the rest of the season. Now we got to just kind of try and see what we could salvage. Running second last week at Lima Land, and Leonardi caught an infield tire, and I thought car was pretty good. I was ready to kind of hunt down David, and we just never really got the chance. And like I said, Leonardi caught a tire and spun out up into me and gave me a meatball and had to pull in. So that kind of sucked. But it seems like we're always moving forward late in these races, and if we could just keep doing that the rest of the season, hopefully we could maybe pull off a top 5. It'd be tough to go for that top step, but we'll see what we can do.
Well, I'll tell you what, it seemed like the virtual Tony Stewart put a couple extra loads of water on the track here tonight. I feel like this is one of the most hooked up tracks we've had all season long, but it proved to actually be a pretty good race, I would say. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. We started on the bottom there and moved to the top, and then it seemed like everybody was kind of making all the lines work. Really, it was wherever you kind of tuned your car to go and however you could drive it. So like I said, we started on the bottom and then moved to the top, and then the bottom came back in, and that last restart, top of 1 and 2, was super slick, but Bergeron and Tiernan in front of me are both running the bottom, and you're not going to pass any cars following them, so I just try to make something work. Top 1 and 2, nothing was really there. I think I might have been better than him in 3 and 4, but I'd just be too far behind, so we just had to kind of take what we can get, and like I said, points race the rest of the season and see what we could salvage.
Well, Adam, great job on the fourth place run here tonight. Who were some of the sponsors on that Swindell Speed Lab number 74 car?
I think my guys, obviously over at Swindell Speed Labs, they help out a ton. We got a pretty good setup underneath us, makes our job easier, so I can't thank those guys enough for all the work that they put in. I also got to thank our sponsors, Bell Helmets, Wise Organics, South Bay Partners, and I got to thank Flo, Flo and USAC for coming together with iRacing, putting this deal on. I kind of thinking that, beginning of the season, that if I was going to win a championship, it was going to be most likely in these things versus wing cars and late models, but luck says otherwise, so we'll just kind of see what we can do. And then I got to thank Race Spot for broadcasting and putting this on. It's a great time, and got to thank all the fans for watching and supporting too. We didn't have a platform if it wasn't for them, so can't thank everybody who watches and hang out enough.
Well, Adam, great job once again, and we will now bring in our 5th place finisher, Skylar Brown, early the pole sitter, led a couple laps up front, and he's now stood by with Randy.
Skylar, you've had a couple of good opportunities thus far this season. You had a good one at Fairbury when you were out front early. You were one of the most exciting drivers to watch in that opening race, and here tonight you put it quick time and dominate your heat and start on the pole, but just unable to maintain that top spot, got shuffled down into the top 5. Tell me about how difficult it is running in this series, because it seemed like you got kind of buried in the pack and were never able to really rebound.
Yeah, I got a little too confident in how my night was going and how my setup was, and I didn't change as much as I probably should have before that. That first corner, man, I was completely sideways, looking like 90 degrees to my right. And I did that a few times throughout the race, so really I'm just happy to not junk it and to get a top 5. That's pretty cool with the amount of talent here, and to be able to get quick time and win my heat race and stuff. I thought it was going to be garbage tonight, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out for sure.
And our next week, we're going to move to the sprint car capital of the world in Knoxville, Iowa, at the Knoxville Raceway. Of course, Knoxville famous for winged cars, famous for the Knoxville Nationals, but tell me about what the differences are going to be for you guys dealing with this non-wing car around that iconic half-mile racetrack in Iowa. The wing car has so much down and side force that you can carry a lot more speed along the top, and you can carry a ton of speed down around the berm as well. Of course, basically no downforce in these cars. Are we going to see both lines work, or do you think it might be very one-sided with either the top or bottom being the way to go?
I'm not sure. I haven't done a whole lot of non-wing races there at Knoxville, but I have a feeling it'll go to the top like normal unless they do a reset. But I know it'll be a good race either way. A lot of these guys are pretty good, so I hope it's putting on a good show for the fans.
Well, congratulations to you, Skylar, on a top 5 finish and just generally looking strong all night. That yellow number 10 was a blast to watch from Team VLR. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that number 10 Team VLR sprint car?
All the guys at Team VLR for the moral support. Let's see, Colby Eye Paints, which is now the new Heatwave Designs. He made my wrap, and he's got a whole lot out there, and he's doing a whole lot extra. He's doing a lot more here in the next coming weeks or whatever, and get a hold of him for a good wrap.
There was Skylar Brown, your 5th place finisher tonight, and that's going to do it for us for interviews, and we're going to move on to the post-race show. We have the updated points, and we're going to go right to that, Chase, and it's the first point I want to talk about because we talked about the fact that all of his championship rivals had a mediocre night at best tonight, and several of them had terrible ones. Coming out of the 4th round of this championship, Chase, David Heilemann has a 62-point gap to 2nd place Joel Berkeley. You can almost nearly give $6,000 to David Heilemann right now.
It's pretty incredible what he's been able to do these first 4 weeks. I mean, we've ran 2 other of these Pro Series on dirt, and we've seen some dominant stuff, but really nothing as dominant as David Heilemann these last couple nights. But, you touched on it in your interview with him there. He seems pretty cocky. He seems like he's, all that in a bag of chips, and, he's a good friend of mine, and I know he's a funny guy, but, sometimes that talk will catch up to you, Randy. We might see him find himself in trouble here by the end of this thing, like Cole Cabray did here tonight. We saw Brendan Rogers and Zach Leon Hardy. All those guys have been up in the points and have had a bad night. And it's just down the road here for David Heilemann to possibly have one of those nights.
And Tommy, I'm going to kind of expand on that. David, he's been one of the most fun interviews we have all year long for these esports series. He's borderline a bit of a crazy man, and of course for sprint car racing, especially down here in Southern California, that's really where this dirt oval racing really got big, especially following World War II. A lot of the people who were fighter pilots back in World War II and whatnot, looking for a rush, they went dirt oval racing. They raced midgets, they raced sprint cars all around Southern California at places like Ventura and at Balboa, and of course in the Midwest as well, all over Kokomo and in Indianapolis and in general. Do you think David being a little bit crazy is what makes him so good?
You
have to be crazy to be good in any type of open wheel sprint car. I mean, it just takes a certain type of mentality to run one of these race cars in real life. But here on the sim sport, like Chase said, you have to be careful. One race, it could change everything. Cole Cabret came in here tonight just 20 points out of the points lead, and he leaves here tonight just about right at 95 points behind David Heilemann, now currently sitting in 4th place. So one race pretty much can change everything. David Heilemann just has to keep himself careful.
It's not 95, it's 105 points out for Cole Cabret. So Chase, that's an 80-point swing that Cole Cabret has just experienced, 80 points down. So I mean, that is a sign that anything can happen. So all it takes is for Heilemania to get a little bit too much mania. We might see the likes of Berkeley or Leonardi right back in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, one bad qualifying effort is really all it takes, and you start at the back of a heat race, and you got to try and get by some guys, get into a transfer spot, and that's really where we see a lot of these guys make some kind of mistake. And if Heilemann has one bad week, man, and I'm telling you, I'm going to take a wild guess here and say it's going to either happen at Knoxville or it's going to happen at Williams Grove, one of these two big flat half miles where the 49 car might find himself in trouble here and might bring one of these guys like Joel Berkeley or Zach Leonhardi back into the championship fight.
So like Willie Mays Hayes, Chase Rodman is calling his shot, and we're going to see if in one of these upcoming rounds, David Heilemann, the Heilemaniac, will falter and be a little bit short of that home run wall, or if he can knock it out of the park. But that is going to do it for us here in the 4th round of your USAC World Championship Series presented by Flow Racing. We have to thank all the sponsors that make this possible. Huge thanks goes to both USAC and Flow Racing for the support that they give us, and our thanks go to iRacing as well. Be sure to join us next Wednesday as we head to the sprint car capital of the world in Knoxville, Iowa for Knoxville Speedway for the 5th round of this championship to see if David Heilemann is going to be able to continue punching nails into the coffin on this championship. However, this is not it for iRacing Esports Network competition through the weekend. This Saturday, join us for the season opener of a championship people have been waiting all year to watch. The Thrustmaster iRacing Rallycross World Championship kicks off their first round from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and then of course following next Wednesday's race at Knoxville, be sure to join us for the championship finale of the eNASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series live on NBCSN. Until all that, we hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye.